Hello everybody, I'm glad you're here today. Today is June 8th, 2026. In this video, you're going to walk away from it happy. You're going to walk away from it encouraged. You're going to walk away from this video with some sense of hope and some sense, hopefully, of understanding who you are, where you've come from, and where we're all going together. All right, so I don't really know how it's all going to pan out. I don't know if it's going to piece together the way I would like it to. Well, actually, I have no idea how it's going to. I just prayed to Jesus. I said, Lord, just piece this together so it makes some kind of sense to everybody who listens. So let's just start with this story, all right? So my daughter Taylor is an RN. She just came back from Peru on a medical mission trip, and as she was like telling us stories about all of the things that happened, she just happened to drop this sentence and just kind of went on and was just kept talking, and I was like, what did you just say? And I said, so I said, wait, go back. What did you say? She said, oh, when people asked me what my parents were like, I would just tell them, oh, they're hippies. That is how, I said, that's how you described your dad and me to these people in Peru? She went, yeah. Yeah. I said, how is that even, is that true? Because, your whole self-perception isn't always accurate, and I've always kind of considered myself a free spirit, always. And my husband, yeah, I mean, we have marched to the beat of a different drummer for decades, all right? So that's what she was talking about. I said, she said, Mom, y'all live intentionally. Y'all just do your thing no matter what everybody else is doing. You just do what brings you joy. If you want to write a song, you write a song. If you want to write poetry, you write poetry. If you want to, do paint a picture with watercolors, you just do it. And I was like, yeah, maybe we are hippies still. Definitely, probably were we hippies during the 70s? I probably was younger then. I mean, I was in junior high. I don't know. I mean, if you go read what I wrote during the 70s, yeah, like I did write poetry. in the early 80s. So those are interesting. Those are interesting things that she mentioned about us. And so it made me think about the last video I made. I mentioned being able to pivot during these changing times. We get so focused on current events and the war and what's going to happen and how to prepare for it. And in this video, I want to pause, and maybe in some future videos, just pause and let's look back at what we were, and that is a value. It is important to know and to remember our music and our lyrics. That's important. And so that set me on a journey. That little sentence has set me on a journey. And so I got to looking, because we have kept our record collection, our vinyl records. I mean, Mike and I have kept the records we listened to. He has he collected more than I did. But I got to looking and I thought, well, if you know what, that if we are hippies, so this is like your dad, you know? I mean, okay, so John Denver definitely was a go-to for Mike and I, even though we didn't know each other and we were hundreds of miles apart. Growing up, we both loved John Denver. And I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, his songs, his writing, his lyrics were absolutely stellar. That's for another video. That's for another video. But I mean, so I went through the records this morning and I thought, okay, if we're going to be hippies, then Taylor, is this your dad? And is this me? Carole King? Come on, y'all. What an epic album, right? I was looking here at the back because all of these albums came with the lyrics. Look at the back of Carole King's. Every song has the lyrics written in the back, and I wouldn't be surprised. No, I don't see it on like sometimes on the cover of the album. Oh yeah, here's the lyrics for John Denver. So, like, these records would come with lyrics. Those of you who don't know records and record players, because y'all, you remember when you would get a record, would you not just go up to your room or go down in the basement, right? Excuse me, and put it on your stereo, turn out all the lights, and just listen to it? I mean, there were some songs, and we're going to talk about one of them here in a minute. Some songs that you would literally like nearly melt the vinyl listening to it over and over and over. Did y'all have a song like that? Man, I did. I did. So, yeah, so I just went through our records, and this was one, I just grabbed a couple. I love this jacket. I love Carole King. I think she's fabulous. And I got to reading, like, of course, she in this album, she's got I Feel the Earth Move Under My Feet, the epic song. And then she says, So Far Away. Remember that song, y'all? Oh, and just thinking about it makes my soul go, oh, it just touches it and twists it a little bit in kind of a melancholy way, or I don't know. But the first words are, um it's so far away, doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? Doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It would be so fine to see your face at my door. Doesn't help to know you're just time away. Long ago I reached for you, and there you stood, holding you again. Could only do me good. Oh, how I wish I could, but you're so far away. You know, we all share those memories of being separated from the one we love. Somebody. I know for me, it was during the summer, and Mike and I were engaged or we were dating, but we were separated. And we would write letters. We would write letters, and I've kept all my letters. And I mean, can you remember just writing a letter while you were listening to stuff like this in the background? Do you remember? And then walking out to the mailbox and posting it, lifting up the flag? I mean, yeah, those, we need to remember our life back then. It was good, it was slow, it was not perfect, obviously, but it is why who we are now. And yes, on this channel, we have talked about adjusting to the times very quickly, and adjusting to what's going on is going to make you more able to survive what's going to happen. I believe that. But I also think, as I reflect now, things have slowed down in my life a little bit. And I've reflected how important it is to remember our music, and to hear our music, and to play our music. And if there's any younger generation out there listening to me right now, any Zers or millennials or even alphas, if you look at us, the people who are older than you, who grew up in the 70s and 80s, if you look at us, and we might be filling out our tax returns, and we might be mowing the lawn or washing the dishes or even changing your baby's diaper, I assure you that this is the music that is running through our head and will always be, because this is our DNA. Does that make sense? We lived the golden age of music, and we didn't even know it. We didn't even know it was the golden age of rock and roll or singer-songwriter music. We didn't even know we were living it. We just knew it was. It was real. It was real. And I find it interesting just to make the parallel. I don't really want to go into this in depth, but making the point, we didn't know we were living that golden age any more than we realize now that we're in the beginning days of the War of Nations, World War III. We don't realize that now, but I believe that is the truth. And it's just part of living life. You just don't know it at the time. It takes time to look back on it and reflect and go, oh yeah, okay, well, that's what that was. So for the younger generation, I know you like this music because I live in under our roof. Our son is 21, our daughter is 31, and Mike is from the baby boomer generation, and I am from Gen X. So we have 4 generations under our roof, and then my mom and dad are from the silent generation, or the builders, I would call them. Uh, so we have actually 5 generations, different generations under one roof. And so we all bring something different to the table, all bring a different, although Mike and I are very close from the same generation. The, the Gen Zers use the word boomer for all older people. So they're not defining a boomer as somebody from the baby boomer generation. They define a boomer as anybody that's old is a boomer. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. Uh, I'll be a boomer. Doesn't matter. But what's interesting is when I look at Gen Z and I look at my son and his friends and I adore them. What a clever generation. They are insightful and they are honest, an extremely honest generation. They are very well grounded, and they don't take crap. I mean, you can't bamboozle them. So I began watching on YouTube over the weekend. I began watching. Um, have y'all ever seen those reaction videos where people listen to stuff for the first time or watch something for the first time and you get to see their first time reaction? It's like a picture in picture video kind of thing. So I don't even know why it came up on my feed, and it was a Gen Z girl reacts to hearing More Than a Feeling by Boston for the first time. And I thought, well, let's see what this girl does. So I watched it, and I was shocked at her. I was delighted and shocked at her reaction. She began weeping. She began crying. She said, I have never heard anything like this before. She said, I thought it was going to be like a slow melody kind of a, song at the very beginning. You know how it opens up with just that guitar. And, I woke up this morning, you remember? Turned on my music. Anyway, she thought it was going to be slow. And then when it goes, when it gets like, closed my eyes and I slipped away, you remember? And you remember it just gets this guitar that's just, I mean, y'all, when you get done listening to me, go listen to More Than a Feeling, all right? So she's listening to this for the first time, and of course, the vocals on that just are mind blowing. And I mean, when he goes up like 3 octaves and just, I mean, y'all. And then how the vocals just melt into the guitar. You know what I'm talking about? Do you remember that? And you can't even differentiate between human voice and instrument. It's just that connected. It is a song. It is a piece of art worth weeping over, for sure. For sure. But I was surprised because Zers tend to be very, like, nearly cynical. So she hardened nearly, and she was not. She just was like, I, I don't know why I'm crying. This is such a this is a happy song overall, but oh my, wow. So I got to thinking that was her first time to ever hear More Than a Feeling. Okay, so I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. Now that I went through my treasures this morning. Not only did I get these record albums out, but I thought, man, I know we have some. I cannot find our Boston album, from Boston, like the album Boston. Um, but I did find this. I did find our old cassette tape. Could not find the case to it. I have no idea where the case is. Because when, y'all, do you remember when we like popped these into our car and, I mean, to our car cassette player, and like the case was just irrelevant? Because even to get these out of the case while you're driving, and I mean, when I was listening to this, even I was getting this out of the case while I was driving with two children in the car with me. Okay, so this is truth. And you become good at it. But eventually you just like throw it in the cup holder or throw it on the dash and you just grab it and put it in. Okay, right? Am I right? You remember that? So, but I found this and I was shocked. I'm like, if you look at this, y'all, it is literally, it is worn out. Up here, the words are worn out from putting this in and out, from listening to this so many times. I don't know if you can see that. I don't even know if it looks like it would still play. It doesn't look too, I don't know if it'd be warped or not. I literally listened to this when I would take lunch out to Mike on the farm. Mike drove a tractor for Mr. Bubby and for Tyree and for Mr. Wayne. So Mike would do that from time to time in the summer to make more money so we could pay our medical bills for our daughter. But so when in agricultural life, a lot of times the men would be farming or driving the tractors, and the women make lunch at home and take it out to the field. And that's just how we do. So that's what I would do. So when lunchtime would come, I would fix lunch at home. I would load up the lunch and then load up my children, Amanda and Taylor, and in the baby seats, and then we'd rock out on the way to the field. And this is what I would listen to. This is what I would listen to. And you can tell, y'all, I'm not even sure it's got like a Coke stain on it or iced tea. I mean, so do you remember that? Do you remember these days? We need to not forget them. And we need to keep listening to our music, y'all, because it will wake something up in you that may have been asleep. And even if you haven't been listening to it, I know it's been playing in here. And it's going to be playing in here all the way till I'm in the nursing home. And somebody's going to be pushing me in a wheelchair, and I'm going to be humming this song, More Than a Feeling. And I'm going to be hearing that guitar. Yeah, so I listened to this Gen Zer who was giving her first reaction, and once again, she wept. And I got to thinking to myself, I do not remember the first time I heard More Than a Feeling. I don't remember that first time. It's always been in the background of my life. Always. It came out in 1976. All right. So I really I wasn't old enough to like be defining who I was by the music I listened to then. But I just have always known this song. Always. And then always know the words of the song and always know when the best parts of the song are coming and just let it wash over me. I mean, when he goes up, y'all, and then goes up again, and then again in his vocals, I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. And I mean, on this tape, I mean, I kind of take my glasses off. More Than a Feeling, Peace of Mind, Something About You, Let Me Take You Home Tonight. I mean, come on, we all remember those. On the other side, it's Rock and Roll Band, Smoking. Oh, yeah. Smoking, y'all, is a fan-freaking-tastic song. Hitch a Ride, and then the epic Foreplay Long Time. Come on. Aren't those the best? Especially Foreplay and Long Time. I have memories of rolling down the windows, y'all, and driving as fast as we could, letting the summer air just blow through the car with listening to Foreplay and Long Time on the radio. On the radio or on your tape or on your 8-track. Anyway, so I've talked 20 minutes about these things. And let me make the point. Like I said, I don't remember ever the first time I heard More Than a Feeling. But this girl, watching her, the very first time to hear it was very fascinating. And I got to thinking, I don't remember the first time I heard about Jesus Christ and his story and what he did and what he's done in his life. I've never had that first time experience to hear that. I have always known it. I have been afforded the privilege of always knowing Jesus. Always. Throughout my whole life, I've never not known him. I grew up in a Christian family. I was hearing hymns sung in church while I was still in the womb. That was me. And I've never left it. I've never left the faith. I've never considered leaving my faith, ever. And I know that not everyone's like me. And I know that other people have had different experiences. And I guess what I'm saying is we need to remember that we are different. And we do bring different things to the table. And we are living side by side with people, beautiful young people who have not heard things for the first time, that we have grown up with or that we have known forever and ever and ever. And we know what's coming. We even know, we can anticipate. He died, yeah, but then he came to life. I had a little 6-year-old in Bible class the other day who did not know Jesus died. And so when we were talking about the crucifixion of Jesus, she said, Jesus died? Jesus is dead? I kid you not, that is what she said. And I said, oh, yeah, no. But then 3 days later, she said he came back to life. And I went, yes, he conquered death. He rose from the grave. He lives now. He's alive. So that we don't have to experience death, those of us who believe in him and follow him. You see, death has been conquered. We don't need to be afraid of nothing no more, y'all. He's taking care of it all. And so, first reaction videos of these songs. Another one I love to watch is first reaction to Bobby Hatfield singing Unchained Melody on the Andy Williams Show. Have you seen that one? Oh. Boy, that boy sings like a freaking angel. I kid you not. You know what he sounded like that night. And the thing about art and music, and even what I'm doing right now, making this video, or what you do today when you talk to anybody, when you say something and send it out into the world is changed forever. So the moment that Bobby Hatfield sang that last song of Unchained Melody, that last note, and like, I can hear it in my head. And then he bit his bottom lip, and the world was never the same. Because he sent something out into it that changed lives, that made us look at love and time and hope and anguish and sorrow and separation and still hunger for another person's touch, another person's presence, hoping that they would feel the same. And our Lord is like that. Our experience with Jesus is that love song, is that rock song, is that first time experiencing things and it being fresh and new and exciting and emotional. And the thing about following Jesus is that happens, it happens, the newness of him is continual through the decades. I assure you of that because I've experienced it. So you do have those first time experiences with Christ, with the power of the Holy Spirit, with the love of God, the Father. You continually have that as you journey on. So when I say our walk with Christ is a marathon, not a sprint, it marinates, it simmers, it grows, it builds. I assure you, that when I was 13, 14, 15 and heard Carole King's music and listened to it on the stereo, on the radio, I assure you it did not resonate with me then like it does now. The words do mean something different now. Same with John Denver. And like I say, I don't want to, I kind of want to make a video where we like go through their lyrics and like, yeah. For the children and the flowers are my sisters and my brothers, their laughter and their loveliness, clear a cloudy day. Kind of, y'all, I was going to say, come on, do y'all know that song? John Denver's. But that's another video. So this has kind of been a slow video, and I hope it did something for you. I hope it makes you plug into your past, no matter how old you are. I hope it helps you understand older people if you're young, because these are our songs. These are our songs. And when you look at us, they're going in our minds. I promise. We may look old, but this is the essence of who we are as a generation. Truly. So, with tears in my eyes, I say to you, look back and ponder and enjoy your past, while at the same time we're trying to pivot and adjust our lives for what's coming, for the crap show that's flying all around us. Let's remember there was a time when the crap wasn't flying as bad as it is now. And we could sit in the windowsill with a cat, barefoot, and ponder the meaning of life, or whatever it was your gig was. All right. I think that's all I have. If you don't know Jesus, find him, seek him. He is the way, and he makes everything right. He loves you so much. You don't have to clean your crap up to come to him. All you have to do is say, Jesus, I need you. And he's there. I think that's all I have, y'all. From the pantry. Stay safe, America. This is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.